Region champions have been crowned, and the road to Georgia State titles has been set with the brackets released and first-round matchups starting this week. It's winning time. And here to set the stage, I'm Cory McCartney, along with PBR Georgia Scouting Director Phil Kerber. Phil, it's good to see you.
Glad to be back. I'm excited to dig into this.
So going to start you off by putting you on the spot here as we dive into the picks and predictions. Regardless of region, give me your stone cold lock for a GHSA state title.
I mean, I think it's an obvious answer here in Buford, 29-0. And I'm just going to throw some stats out there because, I mean, this can only be described as a historic season. They scored 225 runs over 29 games, allowed only 23 runs in 29 games. Pitching staff allowed one run or less in 23 games, including 17 shutouts. The offense scored 7 or more runs in 21 games. I mean, this is just a multi-dimensional team that can beat you in just about every way imaginable. I mean, it's been awesome to watch this unfold, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see. It's going to be more fun to see who they match up with as they continue to move on through the playoffs, because 6A, I mean, we'll get into it, is a loaded class.
Would you be stunned if they didn't win?
Yes, I'd have to be. It's just, from everything we've seen, it's just such a complete team.
All right, so give me a surprise team or two that you think that we should be keeping an eye on. And remember, you can keep this any class. Give me a couple of surprises.
Yeah, this one I could have gone a couple different ways, but I'm going to start in 7A with Cherokee. Yeah, I think Cherokee's they're sitting at 20-9 right now. They got in as a 2 seed, and it's a deep team. They've got arms, they've got bats. It just kind of depends on, heck, will they put it together at the right time? And I think they can. They've got the 2 or 3 frontline arms that can, the starting pitchers that can get them through, multiple innings, need it up, and they've got the bats that can score runs. So I think they're going to be a team to watch out for, and they could surprise some teams. Because in 7A, I think that one's a lot more open than some of the other classes. Down in 3A, I got my eye on Hart County. They're coming into the playoffs as a 3 seed. They got swept in the final series of the season. They were sitting there at first place in the region, got swept, dropped to a 3 seed. But when you look at the team, they've got 2 big-time arms, Casey Talent, Will Dean, guys that can run it up into the low 90s, and pitching is going to be a huge part of making it through the playoffs. And when you got 2 arms like that, they're going to set themselves up nicely.
I think you may have tipped your hand a little bit, but the most exciting class is going to be
6A. Now, I feel like we spent a ton of time there. But, you got Carrollton, Allatoona, Winterboro, Pope, Houston County, Rivers, Lassiter, all those teams. If Buford isn't in that class, I would say have a strong chance of winning the state championship. Kind of looking at how the bracket shaped up, you got Carrollton on the same side as Buford, which I think that's going to be an awesome matchup if we get to it. But on the other side, you're going to have Allatoona, Winterboro, Houston County. They're going to be moving through the playoffs. And second round, we're probably going to see Winterboro, Allatoona, which could be one of the best matchups of the entire playoffs right there. But I spent enough time on 6A. I want to show some love to some other classes. I think 5A is also going to be a wide open. Greenbrier, Loganville. Loganville's tripped up a little bit at the end, but I think they're still a dangerous team. Blessed Trinity, we're really familiar with. They're loaded. Stars Mill, Decatur, Wayne County, Cartersville. They've all got chances. And I mean, we can keep going deeper in that class too, because Harris County and Calhoun, they've got some dudes that will surprise you, I think. And then I want to touch on 1A private, because I think that one is going to be a slugfest. Wesleyan at the top, they got the big names, but Mount Perrin right there with them. They've got a really young squad that's really talented. Tetnall Square, who's the traditional power in that class. Fellowship Christian, Savannah Christian, Brookstone's even picked up some nice wins this past week, and I think are trending in the right direction as we head into the playoffs. And even Huron Christian, they've got some arms that can run it up in the low 90s, some SEC commits there. So I think that class too is just as open.
Well, it's only fitting you picked 6A. I mean, we spent so much time talking about 6A teams as we go through the weekly PBR Georgia Power 25. Turning to players, give me a player or two that you think is maybe the most important for any team that's gunning for a state championship.
Yeah, I'm gonna dance around this question a little bit. Not a specific player, but I'm gonna say the most important player will be game 1 starting pitcher. That's the guy that I'm assuming most teams are going to go with their ace on game 1. That's a guy that you expect to go 6-7 innings and save your bullpen. Plus, it gives you a morale boost when you've got your big dude, your dude on the mound. He goes complete games, gives you that win, and you've got to turn around right away for that second game. You've got all the momentum, and you've got your entire pitching staff available. And I think having the deep staff and having them, I'll say, be fresh is going to be really important in winning a 3-game series.
Yeah, it's all about that tone setter.
Yep.
He's Phil Kerber. Give him a follow on Twitter at Phil Kerber PBR, and give a follow to PBR Georgia while you're at it. Now, it's not March Madness or April Absurdity. Maybe May Mania is how this whole thing is going to sort it out, but whatever you want to call it, get out there and watch some Georgia State high school baseball, people.